I hope y'all are well today. We have a chess puzzle here for you, and we're in this position. As you can see, we're playing as white. It's white to move and win. Black is here in the corner. Their pawns are coming towards us, and they're really close to queening this pawn here. They are up a pawn, but we are up in the moves order. So, when we look at this puzzle, what's one of the first things that comes to your mind? When I first looked at this puzzle, my first thought was rook right down here, right? Rook to d1. Now, in playing this move, we have effectively checked the king, and they're cut off. They can't get out because our king's here, and they can't just stay here undefended because our rook's here. Now, many of you know what black is going to do here. Black comes down. It's the only move with their rook. Right? They defend. Now remember, in this puzzle, we are down, actually not one pawn, we are down 2 pawns. So, it's very important that we have a decisive victory. Now, here, there are a few options, and some of you may have seen it, some of you may have not. But let's go over the few options and see how white continues in this situation. Now, the first thing that white could do, and that most people would say is the first move to try, is just rook takes, removing the defender and attacking this king. Now, of course, many of you see it now if you haven't already. That gives black the option to take, and then they get a queen. Let's see if I can put a queen here. And they get a queen, right? So we don't want that. We get checked, and eventually they take our king. So let's not do that. Let's get back to the position we were at. Okay. Doing this all manually here, folks. So, we don't want to take. Well, but you might say, well, what else can we do? We can't do anything with this pawn. So that's off the table, and that's helpful, right? Because if we know we can't move this pawn, then we for sure know that it must be the king or the rook. Oh, my king just took my rook. My king's a knight now. Yeah, we might as well checkmate, huh? Anyways, so we have to move the king or the rook, and it's not rook takes. Well, can we actually move our king? Well, let's try it. We don't want to move our king. Oops. My rook wanted a revenge. This is my first chess puzzle video, folks, so bear with me. Well, so the king could move up here, but of course they just take the rook, right? So we don't want to do that. And of course, the king could move back to protect the rook, but then again, still the same problem. Rook takes, king takes, and now how do we stop this? How do we stop them from promoting to a queen? We can't. So it can't be a move with the king, right? So if we know it can't be a move with the king, then it has to be a rook move. But we know it's not takes. Okay. So if we know it's not takes, and we know we don't want to move anywhere over here, because it's just going to get taken anyway. Well, now, you might say, should we move it across this to another column, maybe? No. Because then we're in the same position. And in fact, this might give black a chance to either draw or do something else. So we know that we don't want to do that. So many of you may have seen the winning move here, but I'm going to go into why it's the winning move. The winning move is all about making sure that this rook is still pinned to this king. Well, how do we do that? We keep it on the same row. And so if we don't want to move it way over here, we don't want to move it here because we take and then they queen, then there's only one spot to put this rook. And you may see it now, but here comes the move. Yes, rook to f1. Wow. And what does black do here? Well, black can't move. Black can't move this rook because we take their king. They're not allowed. They can't move the pawn. And if they move these pawns, then we take, they move. What happened to this pawn over here? That's fine. We move, they move, we move, they move, and we move, get a queen, and this is checkmate, folks. They can't move this, so this is checkmate. Right? So we know that they can't do that. Right? We know that they're not allowed. They're not allowed. So what's the only other move they can do? They take. They take, but now look at this. We take. And now we have officially put this king in jail. It can't go anywhere. It's stuck. And now that this king is stuck, black is in zugzwang. What's zugzwang? Zugzwang is when the only good move is not to move at all. So, we've already seen what happens here. It's black to move, but we've already seen this continuation, and I'll just go right back through it one more time so you guys can see it. Oh, king takes his own pawn, exclam. Yeah, he'd really be out of jail then. Well, the move is here, here, this is the sequence, here, 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 and would you look at that? We take, we get ourselves a queen, we promote, and look, this king has nowhere to go. That is checkmate. I hope you all enjoyed this chess puzzle today, and I'll see you next time.